The concept of the Northern Cape as a distinct geopolitical region of South Africa coalesced in the 1940s when the Northern Cape and adjoining areas Regional Development Association was formed and the first map featuring the name Northern Cape was published. The geographic spread to which the term applied was not fixed until 1994, however, when it attained precise definition as the Northern Cape Province, one of South Africa's 9 post-apartheid provinces. Since then there have been boundary adjustments to include parts of the former Bophuthatswana adjacent to Kuruman and Hartswater.Vryburg and Mafikeng, in the northeastern extremity of the former Cape Province, and hence regarded as part of the pre-1994 Northern Cape, are excluded, being part, now, of the Northwest Province. A history of the Northern Cape, properly speaking, would cover this recent period only. The different regional histories of the area now known as the Northern Cape nevertheless have certain common themes. It is, in the title of an important study by historian Nigel Penn, The Forgotten Frontier in South African History. Part of the history in question is also a pivotal one that heralded the modern era in the subcontinent, revolving on mineral wealth, industrialization, migrant labor and the compound hostile system, urbanization and systematic segregation. This combination of processes and phenomena has been referred to by historians as the mineral revolution in South Africa. Pre-colonial history. It has been said the South African Central Plateau is unique in the world, in that it supported large numbers of non-farming people who were also prolific makers of stone tools until very recent times. A brief comparison of surveys conducted elsewhere in the world reveals promptly and unambiguously that South Africa is richer in Stone Age remains than any other place on Earth. There was little general appreciation of this as a result of apartheid education. To look at the history of South Africa, remarked Professor N. J. van der Merwe, professor of archaeology at the University of Cape Town, is to look at human events through the wrong end of a telescope. Quote, major sites that have relevance include Wonderwork Cave near Kuruman, Canteen Korpia near Barkly West, a cluster of archaeological sites at Kathu, the Wildebeest Cool Rock Art Center on the road from Kimberley to Barkly West, sites in the XAM and Komani heartland, particularly rock art sites in the Karoo, and the stone-walled ruins at Dithakong northeast of Kuruman. Forgotten Frontier. C. Trek Boer. XAM people. The role of Louis Anthing in exposing acts of genocide against the XAM people in the Bushmanland, Upper Karoo area after the colonial boundary was extended to the Orange River in 1847 as reflected in his remarkable letter to Parliament in 1863. Current research by José Manuel de Prada Sampa, Pippa Scottness and colleagues begins to highlight this episode in South African history. Copper boom. C. O'Keepe Diamond Fields. C. Diamond Fields. Kimberley, Northern Cape. Big Hole. Griqualand West. De Beers. Cecil Rhodes. Barney Barnato. Conquest and Resistance. C. Cassop. KGOSI Gailey's Hugh, Folkwane, Langeberg Campaign, Anglo-Boer War, C. Second Boer War, Siege of Kimberley, Abraham Esau, Battle of Megasfontein, Battle of Modder River, Lelyfontein Massacre, Struggle History, C. Cassop, KGOSI Gailey's Hugh, Sol Plathia, ZK, Matthews, Francis Baard, an activist and trade unionist in Port Elizabeth and later with the UDF, born in Kimberley. Robert Sobukwe, Fakamil Mabia. In the 1980s the Northern Cape contributed in a relatively limited way to the struggle for a democratic dispensation in South Africa. It has been suggested One study attributes this primarily to geographic and demographic factors. The province covers some 30% of the country but has the smallest population, which stood at 840,000 people in 1994, representing just 2.1% of South Africa's total population, with a density of 2.3 persons per square kilometre. Political mobilization was constrained except in the major centers of this vast tract of the country. That Afrikaans was first language to two-thirds of the people could have been a significant further factor. Leaders who arose at this time in Kimberley included two future premiers of the Northern Cape, Mandipiko and Elizabeth Dipuo Peters. Post-1994, the Northern Cape as it is now known came into being in 1994. Boundary adjustments resulted in the addition of certain parts of Northwest Province. Premiers of the Northern Cape have been Mandipiko, Dipuo Peters and Hazel Jenkins.